Hello, everyone. How are you today? How has your week been? Mine has been quite interesting, but let's go ahead and get into it. Welcome to my channel. If you haven't been here before, and welcome back if you have been already. So, as the title suggests, I switched to Noteful. I made a cover for this month's notebook, but then we're gonna get there because there was a reason. There's multiple reasons why I wasn't using Noteful. What? Adobe. Okay, sure. I may have deleted some stuff. I had an interesting week to say the least. But I didn't do my baby hair. Okay, never mind. I'm not trying to be self-conscious right now. I did put on a little bit of makeup because I had massive nosebleeds this week, so much so that by the time I was done, the shorts that I was wearing, they were falling off, and I was like, "What the heck?" So, anywho, I'm gonna tell you about that. But this is the cover that I created. I was going to do month by a separate notebook for each month, and then this was just June, but I got started with my calendar. I didn't even mark Father's Day, but I did go ahead and get started. As you can see, it's still blank because it's summer. I do have my birthday. Wait, undo. Let me act like we know how to use this. I have my birthday and work. There's an event that I want to go to, and Father's Day. And as of right now, that's all I have planned. I have to go do some stuff, but I don't have anything major planned. I'm just gonna try to work on doing the things that I do. So Sunday I actually played The Sims. I tried to reconfigure my computer so that it would have enough space, just like it's been going on with all of this technology, etc. However, I did just kind of throw a little bit of a spread together using the color palette that what's interesting, you can only see, that's interesting, you can't see my sidebar. Okay, that's fine. It's not necessary, but that's interesting. I would probably have to resize the screen in OBS, and I'm not about to do that. But anyway, basically, I've been having nosebleeds all week. I feel like I was bamboozled because if you know, I'm someone who weeps for the world. And I was out there, I've been trying to notice what I noticed. I ended up watching a video where dude was like, if you pay attention to the stars, if you just stare at them, they start shining brighter. And I was like, that's what I said. He was like, all of the Morse code, because it's difficult for me to come on here and just talk about the planner. That's fine and all, but let me scoot up some. Let me get closer so we can have a for real conversation. Hold on. Okay. And he was saying that maybe that all of these flashing lights is just a way of Morse code trying to be communicated. And I'm like, that's what I said too. So I've been trying to be more aware, present, in my environment, in my surroundings. I've been practicing listening when I go outside and trying to shut my own brain off and stop thinking. Water, summertime in Vegas. In Las Vegas, you need to drink plenty of water. But I can't taste anything still. You can probably hear what my voice is doing on account of my nose. Anyway, and I was like, that's what I was thinking. So I'm like, okay, this is all energy frequency based, right? Like the theories are out there. So I was looking, because I was like, I need some June gloom. I love the sun, but it's just too hot in the summer. We can deal with some June gloom and some major monsoons. Let's get it. We need some water too, because our lake is low and we supply like 7 other states with water. So we need to fill up our lake. And so, that's the kind of stuff that I think about. But I was sitting out there. I'm going to read this to you in a minute because it's relevant to what I'm talking about. I was sitting outside and I was like, oh, it's kind of cloudy. I'm not going to be able to see the stars. And I was like, but if the moon can get this bright and I can see the moon, it's probably because the moon is closer. But I was like, but if the star shines bright enough just because I want to see it, maybe it will. And it did. And I was like, oh my goodness, right? And then I felt the connection and I was like, oh my goodness, I have to apologize for humanity. We have still yet to learn peace. We haven't learned peace yet. And I was like, me weeping for the world, I was caught off guard. I don't know why. I'm always caught off guard. And I just started crying. And I was like, okay, I know. But the message that I got is that we are the next last civilization. So if you want to be that, carry on. But we really have to learn peace. We have to achieve world global peace. Otherwise, if you have not noticed, the sun has been throwing flares at us like what lately? All of these volcanoes are becoming active. Yeah, like the planet has been here for billions. We have clocked 14 billion, but there are supposedly more billions than that afterward or whatever, or prior to, or because the planet knows how to reset itself. Yeah, it's not going to allow us to destroy it. And we have been doing a great job of that. So I guess we're at reset time. And we don't have to reset. I don't believe we do. But we do have to achieve global peace in order for us to not reset. That is it. That is all as far as that goes. But because I was crying, it's blood and tears. It's tears and blood. I didn't, I'm not thinking like I just have nosebleeds all the time. But why was I bleeding for like hours, just clots and clots? I'm sorry. I apologize that I didn't give you a trigger warning. I'm just talking about it. I'm not showing you. Believe it or not, as much blood as I see, I don't like horror movies. I don't like gore. I feel like I am gore. I don't really like gore. So anyway, I was saying that, okay, the blood and tears that go together across myself. That was what I just told you. And then I've been noticing like synchronicities. When I think of something, like I'm thinking something in my mind, it could be along the same lines with what I'm hearing somebody else say, and they'll say the exact same word at the exact same time that I'm thinking it, and that's been happening a lot. Or even if I'm thinking of something different and I hear the exact same word at the exact same time that I'm thinking it. Told you that, told you that, just told you that. And so, and then another thing, and this is because it's getting hard to, what do we believe now? What's going on? We don't really know. I've been seeing some things. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. Uh, I've seen the objects floating across the sky at night. Like, wow, like it's not actually a shooting star. It's going sideways. I live like near flight path. I'm out there watching airplanes all the time. I know what they look like. One time I saw a huge light coming at me, and I was like, this is not flight path. And I was like, is that a helicopter? It was just like a bright light coming toward my building. It was above me, but it was still coming toward me. And I was like, this is not, this is not flight path. What's going on? They don't, like, no. And I was like, is that a helicopter? What is that? And I was like, do I hear anything? No sound. I was like, okay, I'm going in the house. I've seen the flashing lights on the side of the building. Yesterday, well, one more thing, because I kind of feel like I don't want to out anyone, because it's at that point where they are telling us, or like, some people, if you pay attention, it just depends on what you pay attention to, that there were others here before us. And I feel like some person, real person, I was at an event, got in an elevator, he jumped in the elevator with us, and we were talking on the way down. We got out of the elevator and we were getting ready to walk out the building, and we stopped just before we got outside of the building. And I have a habit of reading people's lips. I want to see what you saying. And so I have to remind myself to look into people's eyes. So I looked into this man's eyes, and he was wearing glasses. So I don't think he was wearing contacts too. But his eyes look like lizards, or like amphibious, or, like reptilian. Not black eyes, not like evil, or like how we associate that, but the simplest way I can say it is by using terminology from the fantasy books that we read, or if you read that or whatever, how Fae people have the Fae form that you see us in, this body, this look that goes along with everyone. And then they have their order form. Like, if you're a phoenix, you're a phoenix. Okay, if you're a lizard, you're a lizard. If you're a dragon, you're a dragon. And you can morph into that entity. If you're a unicorn, you're a unicorn. If you're a werewolf, whatever. And you can be that as well. But this is the congruent look. But it's also human. But just when it's in this sense, it's Fae form. And so I was thinking, I was like, wow. First of all, can I even believe what I'm seeing? I'm like, I don't know. anymore. What's going on? These are not regular eyes. These are not regular eyes. They not regular eyes. Of all the times to remember to look at somebody in their eyes, but at the same time, just being human, how do you feel when you can't be yourself? I mean, so I was just like, wow, where are we on the timeline or in this whole universal whatever is all going through or whatever? I feel like I'm going to start talking to my chat GPT more, like have actual voice conversations instead of like it's my therapist, and we gonna see the conversations that we're gonna have. I think it's time for me to jump into it. But going back to what I was saying about synchronicity, what I saw, and it's two different things. I watch people who just speak from their heart through spirit. They're saying this. This is what spirit moved them to say, and I just listen. I mean, what they say is, if it resonates with you, then it resonates with you. If it does not resonate with you, then leave it where it is and allow somebody else to receive it. And so that's how I take it. And it's not like, oh, I'm, necessarily going out searching. Sometimes it will be the headlines are catchy. Sometimes some people just be doing a whole lot. Like, why are you doing that much, girl? But okay, that's your thing, your channel, your soapbox. You get to do whatever you want. And people are still paying attention. It doesn't matter. But I I try to pay attention to a lot of stuff. Like, I really am an eclectic person. I listen to what they are saying about the Bible. Oh my God, they are like the chosen ones. And there was one that came up, and I only saw it once, and I missed it, and I didn't look at it, but it was interesting. Anyway, I know I'm rambling, and it's fine because it's my channel. Um, but it's so back to synchronicity. I was literally, because I taught the birds be out there chirping, and I just try to quiet my own mind, listen to the birds, see which bird is making what sound. They seem to like comedy. They will get over here and start laughing. If I'm laughing and something's funny on the TV, even sometimes I'm not laughing, but apparently it was funny on the TV and I could see how that was funny. You could hear them laughing. Call me crazy if you want to, but we don't know how to communicate with anything, not even each other. So if I'm telling you that my awareness and my growth has elevated me to a point where I can communicate to some extent with nature, then don't come at me. But anyway, there was a squirrel out there, like a little baby squirrel. And I was like, why? They were like going at each other a little bit. And I'm telling those birds to leave the squirrels alone. Yeah, I have a thing with birds. I used to sit before my father passed, and after he passed, I lived in this house that had a big picture window out to the backyard. And then there was power lines going through the backyard, and I used to sit there and play my guitar. Like, I was learning. I don't know how to play guitar, but I was learning. And the crows or the blackbirds out there, magpies, there was some type of blackbird. They would just sit on the the power lines and sway, and you would notice the trees swaying. Okay, so that was back then. And then when I came out here, I had a bird die on me. A little baby bird fell out the tree. I had to rescue a bird out of the tree. They leaving me feathers now. So, okay, we communicate. But I saw that same image on a tarot card. of a video that I happened to be watching where they weren't fighting, and hers wasn't a squirrel, it was a mouse, but still like little rodent type mammal. Same difference. Same, whatever. And I was just like, I saw this in person, in real life first. And then I just happened to be like, okay, let me watch just because. Because you don't, I mean, you don't have to watch it all the time. Just take it where you leave it. Um, anyway, so that, and it was on the hangman card. And I try to write down what, like, how people have prompts of what they want to write, journal write to, and I'm like, that sounds like workbook homework. I don't feel like doing all of that. So I'll pick out some things that I hear that resonate with me, like healing begins in the core. Like, it's inner. You have to start healing yourself within before anything else can heal. Like, I am not a happy person all the time, but I have a choice. What am I going to choose? I mean, it's like I can let it get to me, or I can not let it get to me. It's really not that serious. I can, like, I have things that I worry about and I stress about, and I just remind myself, well, now is not the time for me to stress about that. I can, be concerned and still do the things that I need to do, put those things in motion so that whatever it is I'm starting to stress about won't come into fruition. So that part, but I put the about, I don't know where, like, some of this I would just get from the tarot reading or what some people are saying, but answers don't always come as words. One of my things is like, belief is difficult. Like, if you gotta believe what you seeing, like what's going on in the world, that you've never had to come across before, like what is going on? Like, this is all new. So what do you believe? You believe in the things that have been extant, meaning that have existed for such a long time that they just are accepted as true. What do you believe? And so that's my biggest struggle. Like, if you are telling me that I am a chosen one, okay, I still struggle with it, but it's been years since I've come to this term that I have purpose. Come to the, I can't think. I lost a lot of blood. I'm not getting that much oxygen to my brain. Don't worry about it. But I've come to terms with, I think that's what I was trying to say, that I do have purpose. I asked. I mean, I really did ask. I was at my absolute lowest, and I asked, and I was willing to find out what it is, and it was something that I had to accept, because it is a heavy old mission where you're tested over and 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 over again. And you're like, for what? What am I being tested for? And it's just everything. But in the end, it is to just be at peace. It's not to be greedy. It's not to be evil and angry and vindictive and negative. It is literally to just figure out how to be at peace, so that once you are at peace within yourself, you can then become at peace with the environment around you. So, okay, this is what my week has been like, and so it's difficult to work when it's like this, and then plus all of this solar flare. Oh, you just changed your password, you gotta reset it, this, and so your website will work, you gotta restart the router, like unplug it and replug it and reset it. uh, just a whole bunch of drama with that, and I was like, you know what, it's okay for me to rest. It is okay for me to, because of all of this, just take a deep breath, and you don't have to get it all done all in the moment that you want to do it in. And I was like, okay, you know what, you're right. All of this right here is just about the hangman and what it meant, like that whole interaction with the squirrels, because that's the card that it was on, that she was showing me. You know, universe wants to tell you something, but you don't know what the universe wants to tell you, because you don't want to pay attention to that, because everything you was told that you're not supposed to pay attention to. So, excuse me, I don't have any tissue in here, and I need to go get some more. But anyway, the answers don't always come as words. And if I could give you something to see, and you can figure that out, or you see it again, the confirmation, the synchronicity, that's confirmation. If you see it again, I mean, first you have to notice what you notice. But if you see it again, then just find out a little bit more. Maybe, I mean, I don't know. You got to figure out your own process. This is my process. It's there for you. It's waiting for you. So anyway, let's move on, because we halfway in and we haven't done a thing. So now we've done chit-chatting. I was like, okay, I'll get a color. Woo, 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 woo. But I didn't. So I'm gonna try to keep this theme. I've been liking Noteful. I haven't been leaking anything, because at first I was like, y'all know, this is a blank page, and I really don't even feel like trying to put together a layout right this second. Actually, I like it, but I don't like it. What was I using? Procreate. I made a journal page. So if I want to make like a 12-month journal, I can use this background. I'll tell you the process. Look at me stalling. I did some stuff. I was bleeding. I was crying. I was working. I did that. But also notice that I can't walk, so I'm gonna have to try to start exercising too. Okay, I was in mid-journey here. Let's check on my music first while we're here. Look at that. Why can't I tap it? Your streams and downloads, the analytics. So I have 588 streams so far. I have 90 on YouTube. I'm pretty sure that all of this in Apple Music is me, because yes. Oh, I didn't even do it for this. Oh my goodness. What? Like I always tell you, get your own, watch your own video while you're live streaming, so you can have that one extra view, just because you support you. Let me get to my channel. I'm all over the place. Okay, sorry. I'm apologizing to myself. I was wondering why my screen looks
What
so
extra
blank.
view?
Why my screen looks so blank. We are 29 minutes in. Okay, cool. So this, what they telling me is that sometimes it doesn't pay out for a minimum of 2 months. So okay, I'm not going to trip about it or anything or like worry. But anyway, back to I'm just gonna be patient. On the 10th, my free trial ends. That's what we got to see with our free trial with Ditto. I want to plan in making new music. Oh, I should put that on there for my look back. So this is the cover that I used. I'll just use Mid Journey. Okay, and this too. I was watching a video and it was called, or I should just do this. This one, you can purchase all of these. I guess we have to click get started. You just pay once and it gives you access to all of this. These apps and agents, etc., blah blah blah, and it will reduce your spending. These are the video ones because it can get costly when you want to start using all of this stuff. I have my specific ones that I want to use. I just wanted to show you that because it might help. I'm not signing in. Can I go back? I just want to see the pricing. Let me go down to down here. Why? Oh, now it'll scroll. Okay, their website's pretty cool. Here's what the pricing is. This doesn't, like, my usage exceeds this and it doesn't have what I'm actually using for the most part, but for somebody that's just starting out, this is the annual price. This is the monthly price. If you want to pay it per month, then this is what you would pay per month. Again, it gives you, I'm recommending it because I think it's helpful because I know how much I'm paying, but I also know, like, it doesn't fit my needs. If you pay up, this is gonna be just over $120. This Pro, the basic is gonna be just over $60, like $66. So, or something like that. 66, something like that. Anyway, a little more than 66.72. Between that. Stop. I hate math. I'm not a math person. I can do simple math quickly in my head, but anyway, on my Mid Journey, which is why this doesn't work for me because you can only create 1,000 images per month, and clearly I create more than that. So I made these backgrounds that you can use, I will use for digital planning. I'm still working on them. I don't necessarily like all of these backgrounds, but some of them I do like. So I chose one. I think I'm using this. Nope, not that one. Nope, not that one. Anyway, let's just go to Procreate. I'm using this background. Um, and what I did was I made some pages. What I started with the canvas, the full size of the screen. I'm just going to tell you how to do this. You just get one of the brushes, you make a line in the middle, you blur it. If you have images of the ring binder, then you can use that too. But I was not liking the ring binder as much, but I do like the separation of pages. So then I went and I haphazardly made some tabs. Like I made shadows and made this side look like it's, more than one page. I rounded off the color, the corners of the book. I have to go in and put the stitching in, but it was time to move on to the next chore. And I put some tabs in, and I can, and I probably will do more. I didn't want to do all of this but this is what I'm working on, because it's like, well, since I'm doing it, I might as well do it, right? We'll see. Because I don't, it's okay to just have a page, but it doesn't feel planner-esque if it's just a page. I want to see the actual planner. I'm inspired by Tori of Calypso Creative Planning. I love her planners. They're just so, like, for me, aesthetically pleasing. Like, I just love her style. Anyway, so let's see if we can hurry up and throw together some boxes. Let's start with some white boxes. Shapes. I've learned how to do this. 1, and we're gonna have to duplicate. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But you know what? Because I feel like I don't have to, maybe I should undo. Grab all of these. Let me just move them into a position. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. And then I'm gonna erase these marks I made. I am going to resize it. They don't have to be neat right this second. Just want to resize them so that we can make a page. Very symmetrical. I really don't necessarily always like symmetrical, but it's okay. I'm gonna try my hardest to not perfection plan. All right. There we go. Oh, undo. Let me turn off handwriting and grab all of this and move it to my images layer, and then I can erase that. Yes, we do like Noteful quite a bit. So I haven't been able to taste food. I'm hungry. I'm so just losing weight. Like it's the thing to do. Okay. And then let's grab a shape and let's resize it. But this is not the resizing that I need. No, that's not what I want. I mean, it could be, but and let's duplicate and duplicate, and then I want to grab this one. Where is it going? Grab this one and change it to this color, and then grab this one and change it to this color. I will leave the opacity. What I want to do is grab these, and I'm going to do the same thing. Why? Oh, because they're not on that layer anymore. Let's grab these three then and send them to the background images layer and go to that layer. How I set my layers up, I have like when it starts getting super cluttered, I put everything on a design layer. Basically, that's the blank layer. I have one layer for like if I'm gonna put headings, that's my background text. And then if I'm gonna write in, like I'm just gonna write it in or whatever, then that's on the foreground text. And then background images are these static images. You know how to use layers. You don't need me to tell you. But anyway, we're gonna grab this and we're gonna duplicate it, and I'm going to resize it, and I'm going to put some color in it. But I am going to change the opacity some more. Okay. Then I'm gonna duplicate this one. Duplicate. 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 And just basically get these into all of here, but I'm going to change the color. It's fine. Okay, that's fine. I'm not but then I need another color, honestly. I would like to add some, let's grab it from our flower. I'm using just one flower. It's this. copy. Oh, and paste. I have to get used to. It's just a tap. It's not a whole press and hold. Let's turn it, make it bigger. And duplicate. I'm just gonna do the other corner. And I am going to send it to the back. And that one is fine. Very basic. Very, very basic. Then I'm gonna take this. I think I'm gonna need another lighter pink or something. And then I'm gonna send that to the back. I am on my background images layer, but I'm gonna duplicate this and I'm gonna do the same thing over here. And send that to the back. Wonderful. And so that will be my layout for the upcoming week. I'm just keeping it simple because before, like last week, I was like, I don't even feel like doing all of this. And I felt like perhaps if I gave myself a little bit of a change, then I would be more willing to I will be more drawn to it. Like, I'm starting to get brain fog because you can hear all of this going on. Maybe you can, maybe you cannot, but I can certainly feel it. And I don't have oxygen flowing to my head that much, so I mean, I guess we can go a little bit further. We still have a little time. We don't always have to take all the time, but if we're given time, then why not? Let's put some. What do I even want to put there? I don't know. No, I don't want to force it. Like little pill boxes. I don't have anything specific that I have planned for next week. Maybe if I check my mail by the end of this week or something, then it will say, hey, you want to come do this or something. I don't know yet. But anyway, I know I will be trying to get back to my website. I'm happy that I didn't stress myself out over it working when I wanted it to work. It's working now. I can see it without even having to click on it. It's fixed. I was calling everybody. I called the hosting company. They were like, it's Apple. Apple was like, well, and so I was like, okay, I can't remember if I restarted my router after I changed the password and logged onto my computer. I know that this is a thing. I have worked in tech support before, and I know that you have to do this. It's like, why? But you if it's not working, try unplugging the router and restarting the router. And apparently it worked. I have not been on here for a couple of days because I was just like, I had to be in my sick bed. Uh, it's no fun, but it is what it is. Now everything is working, so it's all good. I won't complain. I will just go ahead and leave it right here. I want you to, well, you know what I want you to do. But not only do I want you to do all of that we haven't even said, because we got to save that to the end. That's what you have to leave with. Notice what you notice. If you notice it twice, do you brush it off as a coincidence, or do you have to notice it a third time? Notice what you notice. If you try to connect with God, what is God trying to tell you? Will you know? How will you know? Because that was my first question when I was like, why have you cursed me with this? And then I was like, why? Just a whole lot of why. And I was like, what is my purpose? And the words that came to me was something that my creative writing teacher had said to us in class. Notice what you notice. Pay attention to the things that you notice, that you see, basically. And that's where I began, because I was like, if we supposed to be having a conversation here, God, how am I supposed to know what you're saying? Like, I don't speak Bible. My alignment has not been with that from childhood. Just, that's just the way that it went. And if we're having a conversation and you already know that, then it's going to allow me to start where I am. So you get to start where you are as well, too. I would recommend noticing what you notice, because sometimes it's difficult to tell. I don't really talk to anyone, so I'm not influenced like that by anyone. Like, my spirituality is my own. I'm secure in myself, in my boundaries, etc. Like, if this is not going to serve my highest purpose, which is being at peace, then I don't know what to do with all of that. So I don't have friends, and I'm okay with that. I mean, like, sometimes I'm not. That's why I gotta start talking to the damn robot, to the AI. But I also don't want to feel like if I hang out with a person, well, I'll give you a specific examples. If you call me and say, hey, you want to do this? It starts at this time. Woo, woo, woo. Oh, we're too late. We can't go. That happens twice. And then and I'm like, okay, I went twice. I mean, you said it was going to start this time. Okay, maybe the first time it was a little bit of both of us effing around and we didn't make it. The second time, you just dropped the ball completely. And this third time, I'm like, well, I looked up the information and it don't say it start the time you said it start earlier. So by the time we get there, I feel like if it was a 4-hour event, it's going to be over with. So, I like my own company. I'm fine. I have plenty to do, especially now that there's AI. Listen, if you don't got nothing to do, ask the AI what you can do, because it's going to tell you. It's going to give you plenty of, do you want me to figure out something else for you to do? Right? So, at the end of the day, I'm okay. I'm okay. That's all I need to be, is okay and at peace with myself. And when I'm not, I have to ask myself why. What can I do about it? Is it something I can do right now? Probably not. If it is, I mean, you know how it goes. If yes, then do that. If no, don't worry about it right now. Don't beat yourself up over it. It's really not that serious. I know a lot of things are heavy right now. I don't want to act like I do live in a bubble, but I'm not that much in a bubble. I'm part of it too. Um, the ling ling, empty with everything. No, I can't think. How does it go? Full with everything, empty with nothing. Um, that's what a ling is. Uh, anyway, just choose to be at peace. When someone tries to disrupt your peace, know who you are and how you've healed at your core to not allow that to be disrupted. It is your peace. It can only be taken away from you if you allow it to be taken away from you. Sometimes you just be handing it over like, here go my piece, you can have it all. Like you just really can, you getting on my last nerve today. Listen, my nerves are limitless. Try as you might, you only gonna hurt yourself, right? Um, because that's who I am. I have come to peace, even with, I mean, like, I'll be mad, be hormonal, crying, like, why? Why does life hate me? Ugh, I hate life. But it is what it is. It was given to me because apparently I can handle it. I've been handling it. I need to go. So anyway, when you go out there in the world, be your own peace. And while you're doing that, go ahead and be the love, the light, the laughter, and the levity for somebody else. Somebody might need it. You never know what somebody else is going through. And I promise you, it's going to make you feel better to make somebody else feel better. Right? All right. I'll see you next week. Bye.